Thank you, everybody, for being here, being in person or being online. Really excited to introduce what the team has been working on for the past over a year to bring to the world with Replica. We're going to jump right in. Just want to say thank you to everybody, again, virtually and in person. If you've got questions, please ask them, and look forward to the discussion as we get through this. When Ryan Underwood and I started the company, we were getting frustrated. We worked for the US intelligence community, and we're getting frustrated as we were working with cyber counterintelligence and just seeing the lack of tools, the compromises that were happening, and spending our days combating the risks and everything that was happening online. And when we were trying to collect information or make people safer online for our government, it was incredibly frustrating. And when Ryan and I stepped back and said, you know what, this isn't just a problem for the government. This is a problem for major financial institutions when they're trying to disrupt fraud. This is a problem for major pharmaceutical companies when they're trying to share information with competitors to get vaccines or antivirals out to market. This is a problem for law firms in protecting major mergers and acquisitions. This is a problem for NGOs when they're trying to disrupt counter sex trafficking or combat sex trafficking or human trafficking. How do you do this and protect your investigators, protect your people? Well, it was really impossible because the threat landscape was so complex and people didn't know that they were being exploited, and that was the problem. So the reason I've got Mark Zuckerberg up here is I've got nothing against social media, but the techniques in tradecraft that social media, advertising, et cetera, have been using over the past decades used to be just in the hands of nation states. So China, Russia, United States, and the huge computing power that would go behind them would have the ability to target individuals and organizations and really cause some problems for exploitation. But now, with the advance of computing, AI coming on the scene, this is now in the hands of individuals. So instead of having to worry about 10, 20 nations or rogue nations, you're worried about millions of people that could potentially target your organization, your people, and exploit what's going on. Even over the past year, this problem has just accelerated. So we've all been disrupted. We've all been trying to figure out how do we work in this new world. And with COVID, everybody's trying to do their job. As companies, we're trying to give our people access to their data, their tools, their workflows that they would have had in the office, but no longer have access to. And we're doing the best we can. Organizations are doing the best we can. But now the threat landscape has gotten even worse, because everybody's working from home. And if you can't get to a piece of data, you're going to do your best to get to it, even if that goes around security. So what do you do about this problem? Well, first you have to found a company that's fundamentally different. You have to incorporate in a way that keeps your customers' data at the core of what you're trying to accomplish. You have to take a different approach and a comprehensive approach to what you do. So Gray Market Labs takes the approach of if you protect the activities and you protect the people, you're going to protect the organizations. And that's where Replica comes into play. And we create these secure environments as a service. Now, these are real. These are authentic environments. We're not trying to fake who you are or what you're doing. We're trying to create protected environments. So while that's you on the left, you with Replica is still the same person. You still have the same things that you're trying to accomplish, but you're protected. You're a little bit different. You're different enough so you can't be exploited. If you get down into the technical, why haven't people done this before? Because it's really hard. People have said, oh, go implement VPNs and you'll be protected. And we all know that's not true. Oh, go implement private browsers. Go implement the next latest and greatest firewall. Install the next endpoint software on your machine. There's thousands of tools that you could potentially implement to make yourself safe. But they only protect a piece of this stack, this technology stack. And that's the problem, is you're exploited in between these tools, these individual point solutions. You need a comprehensive solution to really address and solve this problem. Something that doesn't just protect your infrastructure, just doesn't protect your operating systems or your applications or your networking, but protects the activity, the pattern of life, the way your people, your employees, and you type can be tracked, your mouse movements, your pattern of life, when you're online, what applications you use. All this stuff is exposed. The data in transit, the activity of that data, that's all exposed. So a comprehensive solution to that is required to really be protected. And then on the right-hand side here, the world is not just virtual. You have physical assets and physical things you need to connect to. I've got a physical laptop here. If I need to get access to this, but I'm not at my laptop, how do I do that in a protected way? So bridging the gap between the physical and virtual worlds is also critical. So that, in a nutshell, is what Replica does for you. We're fundamentally changing how you do your work, how your organizations work, and stay protected and stay private. And there's two sides to that. So the more protected side, this is where Ryan and I and our team have taken our intelligence community tradecraft, the knowledge that we use to protect people for the most sensitive missions, and embedded it in the platform. This greatly reduces the risk of human error, because I don't think any of us want to take more cybersecurity training. I think that we want the platform to do the work for us. In our patents, there are tens of thousands of pieces of data that are exposed. And as I said, there's tools that protect pieces of that. Our patents, we just received our 8th one, I believe, last week, is how we do that at scale and comprehensively for an organization. It's really important to be able to do that at scale and scale this platform up and down. And then finally, over the past even just 5 years, the concept of zero trust has emerged. It's mostly a buzzword, but it's real if you implement it correctly. The way we do that is through isolation. So you come into our platform, if one of the secure environments is compromised, it doesn't affect any other environment within the system. It's isolated. So that's how we make our customers more protected. But there's a flip side, because mostly when you use security and you're trying to become more protected, your job is harder. You've got a longer password. You've got a new token you have to remember. You've got to go through 5 steps to get into a system. You have access to one tool, but not others. So within Replica, we make you more productive. So within our secure environments, you have access to the data, the tools, and the workflows that you're familiar with, that you're already using within the platform. And especially important is that they're available on demand, click of a button. This is not where you need the IT team to stand up something for you. Click to deploy, any user can do it, on demand from anywhere around the globe. So when we first started this process and this journey in creating secure environments, we started out with our government customers and said, hey, let's help you evolve, take a leap multiple generations into the future of how you can do this, how you can do this work, and be better at what you're trying to accomplish. But as soon as we had those conversations with our customers, they said, well, that's great, but can you also help us with threat intelligence? Can you also help us with disrupting fraud for financial institutions and the investigations we do to combat that, cyber investigations? They said, yes, we can do that. The platform can do that. Well, can you help us share data better and more effectively? Can you establish a layer of trust for us within your platform? The answer was yes. We didn't have to change the platform. We just had to create a new configuration. So what we've done is we've created this library of configurations. And that's when I said you can click to deploy on demand. You get to choose from an existing library that's growing every day for how you can accomplish your job with the tools, data, and workflows that you need to be successful. And that's really what Secure Environments as a Service is offering to you through Replica. And so I'm going to go into the 3 aspects of our product line. And hopefully you will see yourself and your role in one of these product lines. I'll start out with the platform. So if you're running an IT team or you're part of the CIO organization, if you're the CISO, this is where you probably start. If you are the chief risk officer, chief privacy officer, chief compliance officer, or have that role, the platform is probably where you start. Because with what we do within Replica is we have our inherent protections embedded in the platform. Now beyond that, for the IT organization, we give you advanced orchestration. Or do you want to be multi-cloud? Do you want to go beyond relying on just AWS or your on-prem systems? Do you need a hybrid environment? Oh, Replica can do that for you. We take a SaaS approach. So you can scale this solution up or down for your needs. Right? You need more of what Replica offers. You need more environments. You need more users. Scale it up. Do you reorganize? Need less? Scale it down. That's the whole value and benefit of having a platform like this. It meets the needs where you are in your journey, right? This is not forcing you to do something different or to do something you're not ready for. It also does application hosting. So your applications can be embedded here to gain the protections of the platform, enabling secure collaboration, flexible integrations, and open architecture, all about bringing the stuff that you're used to into this environment, into the platform. Whether it's a link from externally that you do single sign-on to, or we host it for you, you've got that flexibility and that power within the Replica platform. And the compliance piece, all underlying that, is the audit and reporting. So do you need to comply with CMMC, FAPI? All those elements are supported by the platform and our rich audit and reporting environment. So now let's stick to the next step. So we've talked about kind of the IT team, the infrastructure, the executive side of the business. But what about the users, the experts within your organization? If you're an expert within your group or your organization, if you're a data scientist, if you are an investigator, a threat hunter, if you're a researcher, if you're a developer trying to do secure DevOps, this is where you would come in, into the Replica Workspaces. And as I said before, we're creating this huge image library, these base images that are already created for the work that you're trying to accomplish. So if I start at that base image, us as the Gray Market Labs team uses Replica to develop Replica, right? So it is our secure DevOps environment. We've also established environments for threat hunting, for online research, for data science. You name the mission, and we've probably thought about it, or our customers have thought about it. If you need to get access to different areas of the globe, Replica's egress will help you do that. This is about gaining and maintaining access to information and doing it in a protected and trusted way. As we talked about before, you want to bring in the physical world into the virtual environments. So telephony was the first spot that we started doing that, bringing in mobile into the platform. How can you bring and bridge the physical and virtual worlds? Get down to the bottom here in sandboxing. So what is the unique needs that you have for your organization? Do you want to do stuff in an environment that's not even connected to the internet, but you have access to, for more protected or maybe malware investigation or some detailed work? All of this is what the Replica Workspaces do for you. Finally, the data export. One example of you've got this virtual system that you can do all of your work within, but again, you still are going to want to get data in and out of this platform. So with that, data export allows you to do that in a protected and trusted way. Transform data, change it, scan it, antivirus, anti-malware, whatever it is, do that within these workspaces. This is where you would see yourself as, again, as an expert or a user of the system. The final product area is Replica Edge. And this is really where it hits home of the bridge between that physical and virtual worlds. Because we're not all in the office. I'm not in the office right now. The people that are here in the room are not. But we have to accomplish our jobs. So whether that's you're working from home, you're working from a hotel, you're military and deployed downrange in an austere environment, Replica Edge is us pushing our protections and our productivity to the edge, because that's where the work happens. So you get access and privacy from wherever you are. You get many factors and forms to link into the environment. So if you need to link in a physical device into the Replica platform, this is where you do it. This is your bridge between the physical and virtual worlds for whatever you need to accomplish your job. And you've seen on here, we've done this for many different purposes, whether it's disaster relief, downrange for military work, remote work. This is a core fundamental technology that changes how we work, how we interact. One of our current customers, NCFTA, National Cyber Forensics Training Alliance, great organization with the mission to combat cybercrime. They're doing investigations, they're doing research, malware inspection, et cetera, really intensive technical work. And the way they're doing it before, they've got lots of servers, they've got lots of machines, and they're trying to go out and do their best with VPNs and other protection software to go do their job. But they know that they weren't being able to be as productive as they needed to be. They knew their risk exposure was high because they saw some of their investigations compromised and just shut down because they were exposed. They relied on that expensive hardware and that expensive software. It wasn't scalable. As soon as COVID hit, they had a problem. And the final piece of it is they're a training alliance. they are giving this detailed dark web search training out to their customers, out to the community, traveling around the country with dozens of laptops to give in-person training. Well, that doesn't happen with COVID anymore. So what did they do? They implemented Replica. And Replica took over and started doing their malware research, being their malware research platform. They still do the work. They do it through Replica. This also became their training environment, where the instructor was able to stand up on demand training environments to 1 to hundreds of students, be able to take those students through a lesson and give those students those virtual environments with those high-end tools. Give them access to Tor, give them access to the dark web, those detailed development tools that you would have to spend hours standing up laptops for each of these students. They did it with a click of the button, as many as they wanted to stand up on demand. And they could do it remote. This is all virtual. They didn't have to travel anywhere. Any student could log in from home, from wherever they are, access to the internet, directly into the platform. So we not only enabled that to happen, but this whole side of the business of this organization was able to continue because they're able to offer the training that they were not able to offer because of COVID restrictions. This is one example of how Replica can be used to really change the game for customers and organizations. And many of you that are online or here in the room have seen our Opaque product previously. So what we've done is we started out Opaque many years ago with a mission to protect life online. That is still our umbrella mission. But what we've seen is that where we started with Opaque wasn't enough. We needed to take that generational leap to where Replica is today. And that's when you'll see around the room, the people that are here see a demo of it. You can request a demo through our website, replicacyber.com. You can see that generational change in what we're offering and see the difference of what the platform enables you to do and what it will scale to support your organization. But at the core of what we're doing is still making our users, our customers' lives easier. So you'll see the Replica platform, and you'll see some of the great interfaces that you've seen previously, but you'll see new, simplified interfaces, single-click access to the platform. Really important to get more engagement and more use of the platform. Make this easier for the users. Make this easier for your customers. That's what we're here to do. And as we've been doing this, the reason we're doing this today is over the past year, we've seen the traction, the interest from these various organizations, whether financial services, transportation, all coming out of the government space, law enforcement, energy, pharma. All of them have the same needs, just for different purposes, maybe different tools. And that's why the scalability of the Replica platform is really important for what they're trying to accomplish. And so that, in a nutshell, is what Replica is. Hopefully there's a lot in there, but hopefully you saw yourself somewhere in that journey of where we are. But there's one more thing, stealing from some other people that do this. But we talked about our secure virtual environments. You've got your access to your data, your tools, your workflows. There's a single environment for you to do your job. But take those environments, put them together, create a secure enclave where you can share data amongst your colleagues, amongst independent organizations, a coalition, a multinational coalition, whoever that might be, do it in a trusted, sharing way. And that's fantastic. And doing that on demand at scale has really not been done before. But now take it one step further. What if you wanted to set up a global network of enclaves where you're trying to share information, transactional information, in real time, make decisions on that information in real time, share that data, make sure nothing else is being done to that data except what should be accomplished, and audit that so you can trust that the data was protected and nothing else was done to it except those specific activities that you authorized. That's what Replica can really enhance and enable. But you're not going to do that through our GUI. You're not going to do that through the Replica Lite interface that I just showed you. You need something different. You need the Replica API. So what this is really going to enable is for those organizations out there that are trying to automate their infrastructure, automate that global network of enclaves. It used to take you thousands of lines of code to stand up your infrastructure, hundreds of lines to do your machine configurations, hundreds of lines for network security, right? And that's just for single environments. You do that globally, you're dealing with millions of lines of code. But now after Replica, those thousands of lines are 3 lines. So now we've just taken your work down 10 notches in complexity. And that's what you'll see rolling out with the Replica API. So I hope that gave you a great overview of what we're doing, what we're trying to accomplish, the change that we're trying to bring about in the world, because we really have to change the game in cyber, right? We keep spending more and more on cybersecurity, but the problems just keep increasing. You had to take a fundamental change in how we approach this to actually make a dent, to change that trajectory. So I appreciate your time. I appreciate you all being in person, being online. Jamie, I will turn it back to you for a minute to get any questions that have been coming through. I'll be happy to answer any questions here in the room or any questions online. So thank you. For people that have seen Opaque previously, current Opaque customers, what is new in Replica? So we talked a little bit about it, the new interfaces that you'll see, the simplification of some interfaces. That's been some great feedback for us, is that the interfaces we have been fantastic for our customers. But let's simplify those so we can take the platform and protections across the organization. And that's been almost every conversation we've had in the past year has been really around that. We have an initial team that we go in to go support, whether it's in the CIO's office, whether it's in the data research team, a mission-focused team. We go in to support that team. But then 3, 4, 6 different organizations or teams come to the room and say, hey, I could use that. Can you give me a simpler access to it? Can you give me XYZ access? So that's a lot of what you'll see today in Replica. I think what you'll see in the next few releases that we have coming out around the API, the different ways that you can access the platform, that'll be a big game changer in what we're going to be doing. What's the focus of the 3 different product lines and where we're going? So the focus for us is still on the core platform. As we're developing and building this, it's nothing different for us. This is just how our customers see themselves within the Replica platform and Replica environment. So you might see yourself on the platform side. And that is where you would like to purchase the platform, to go do your work and implement that for your organization. You might see yourself as an expert in your organization and say, I need those workspaces. That's what really resonates with me. Or I see myself, no, I've got this problem where I'm traveling a ton, my team's traveling, and they need more protections. And you might see yourself at the edge and need those edge solutions. So that's really where we see the focus being. For us and the development team and the engineering team at Gray Market Labs, it is one product that we're building. It's where our customers see themselves within the product. So with CMs, I mentioned a few of them, right? And it's really about what is the posture that you need to take and what level of CMMC or any other compliance regulation that you have to comply with. So what the platform does, it takes a lot of the risk and isolates it. And so you're taking a lot of your user risk and that audit and reporting that's required, whether you're CMMC, whether you're financial systems reporting, whether you are a FedRAMP type of process we have to go through. The audit and reporting is really a rich part of what you have to do, and that's fully covered beyond most regulatory compliance needs. And then stepping up from there, the controls and the insight and the observability that you have around the platform is where you get all those other, you check the boxes for each of those other areas. And so that's where you just have to go through what is your regulation that you're looking to comply with, and then we can see, okay, then go through what does Replica solve for you. What are some of the things that the customers have been asking for that we've been then building into these library of these base images, these configurations you can click to deploy? When we started that out, it was, okay, how many different versions of browsers could we give people? Okay, well, that was easy and simple, and how many can we get deployed? Well, it quickly went into, well, hey, I need to do data analysis within the environment. So can you give me a visualization tool? Can you give me, we had a customer that said, I need RStudio. I need Neo4j. It's very specific visualization or data analytic tools. We had a healthcare customer that was looking to do some of their machine learning modeling within the platform. They said we needed Jupyter notebooks, and we needed to be able to control and access that information. So that one is where we brought in not only our own tools that we brought into these virtual environments, but partnered with other organizations that did some of that data encryption and data controls, so we can bring in those other experts and bring those tools into the platform. whether we host those in those base images or we host them on the platform, make them available for the customers. And that's where a lot of it has gone, is what is the specialties that we've been supporting? So in the analytics, data science, and the threat investigators, a lot of that has been where customers have been taking us. And really, it's the common thread around them is how do I get access to and do something with data and maintain that access over time? So each of our customers, and some of them that are on the line, and NCFTA right now is going through the upgrade process. So you'll be, as we do usually quarterly releases for our customers, you'll be part of that cycle to get the release. It will automatically come. So you'll gain a lot of the new features, the new interfaces, just by being an existing customer. So you'll see those probably roll out, I'd say, if not this next release, in the next 2 releases, you'll get that upgraded for your platform. You saw that there's AI component to what we're doing. The AI component is really around how the platform protects the data that's exposed to the world. So less around what are people doing with data and trying to get a decision out of data. So if you take an algorithm, an AI algorithm, and you throw data at it, that algorithm gets biased because of the data set you use for training, right? That's just how it works. It has to learn from something. And there's implicit bias, whether positive or negative, there will be some bias in that training set. So how do you get around that? What we're using is for internet activity, what is exposed? So we're starting almost from a fixed set of things that are exposed that we continue to monitor and mine what else is being exposed. So it's less about the AI making a decision. It's all about how you manage that data and what we expose and what we don't, or how we change that over time. So it's just a little bit different. We're not asking the system to make a decision for us. We're asking the system to help us manage what's being exposed. So it's just a little bit different of an approach. If I look at where we are in the market, if those of you in the IT field have seen a lot around infrastructure automation, so how people that are helping you get your stuff into the cloud. If you're a company, you see a dozen this past week, new companies that are about infrastructure automation or infrastructure as a service, infrastructure as code. And all that stuff is great, but that's helping you, if you're an IT person, with a layer of complexity that you didn't have previously. It's making that easier for you. But we're 2 steps above that, and that's really what I want to see happen in the next few years, is that we take that complexity 2 steps further away. We make this so simple that we don't have to worry about the complexities, or you as an organization don't have to worry about the complexities of what cloud platform am I on, what's my infrastructure, what's the operating system that I'm using. You're just able to get access to the data that you need, the tools you need, and everything else is transparent to you. That's where I want to be. And I want those protections to be automated. If they're not, if we haven't been able to embed our knowledge and our tradecraft, then we haven't been successful. We've already been successful so far. I just see that becoming just another layer, that layer above, and that almost that infrastructure market becomes almost irrelevant to certain people because we've taken that complexity away. How is our product really going to help you? It's going to save you time, it's going to save you money, and it's going to make your user's life better. And those are the 3 simple things. Have a conversation with us. We're helpful. We were happy to help you tailor that discussion and tailor that answer for your organization. And that's a simple, let's come in and talk. We'll give you a demo, get you into a trial of the platform. You can use it first to make sure that it meets what you're looking for. And then you go and you buy what you need. And that's the key part. You buy what you need for your organization. This doesn't have to be, oh, I have to do it for my entire company right away. 10,000 people have to be signed up tomorrow. Start, solve a problem, and we grow from there. That's how we approach it and have approached it. That's where we've had success. That's how I would suggest we do it and collaborate and partner with you to do that.